Hey yo, YouTube. I am here to finally getting back to talking about the Brotherhood of the Lion, which is kind of Band of Titans mixed campaign this session. Um, it's actually been like 2 to 3 weeks since we played this because the way our schedules worked, we haven't been able to get back to that game. We've only been able to play the new one. And because of that, I've pushed off this recording till now. So I'm heavily going resorting to my notes, other than memory. But we start this campaign off where we just woke up from dream walking. Onyx says that he goes to try to track down the medicine cats and tries to says that we should bring in the Beauregard, which are the orcs that guard the doors with mimics. Johann goes and tracks down Brother Bennett from the Temple of Knowledge or for the Temple of Knowledge. Uh, I say Rawright kind of starts to head back from town. Say he's not really in a hurry. Um, if I remember right, Nina kind of like wants to just sit around and do nothing, and then like Becca's like, let's head to the our regular camping spot. But make long scenes short, pretty much we get the Beauregard and we go see the wise one or the wise ones. We tell them everything that just happened. Pretty much the group that started out with Onyx, the Wemmicks, I mean the Wemmicks that were on the pilgrimage at the beginning of this campaign. Pretty much all of them are the ones that get sent to participate on this meeting thing. The DM tells or Smite finally meets the representative for the Brotherhood of Knowledge that's going to go to the council, named Brother Borgan. And again, he's a half ogre. But the meeting ends up going pretty good. Again, to shorten the scene, um, initially Smite thinks they're spies. Initially, Smite is thinking that they're spies from the coalition. And like I do like a sense motive stuff like that. Like ask how like they found out about this council. Onyxgar or one of them. I want to say Onyxgar says that because like Onyx before this, he asked like should we tell them about the doors that we guard or should we just keep that to ourselves and they say let's hold that off. So Onyx ends up saying so pretty much we're spinning this as this is former Orc land or former Wimmick land, and we wish to join this kingdom so we could somewhat retake it. Um, and pretty much that's what Onyx says here, except for he says like our deities told us that we used to own land here and we should join this council. Um, one of I want to say it's Keyleth. No, actually Keyleth or Kira isn't there yet. Um, I want to say it's the Parisha one. Then she asked you're not supposed to be able to talk to our deities. Like, isn't that against the rules? And he ends up saying how like that's why there's so many humans in our group. Uh, uh, because they speak to them to kind of bypass it. I believe Nina ends up getting pointed out too. Eventually, like Johan is asked to make a spot check. He looks over and he sees like Armor Ready and McCory, the orc that's always around her, and like Johan just like waves at her and says, "Magical girl," and where Smite is, he can't see her, and because he does that, he steps forward and looks over. And when he sees Amaretti, he's like, Amaretti and Mia, it's like, please step forward. Um, and like she steps forward to and like she pretty much whispers to him like they're not spies. Like this is one of those things that has to happen. Um, they're here from Star Clan or Star Pride. And then like Smite says how like her use for has over exceeded his expectations again. And then, like, he immediately says that he turns to them and says that your spot on the council is most welcome. After that, Nina says something about she wants to speak to Smite by herself, and they end up going into the church building. She pretty much tells him that she wants for her kingdom or the kingdom she's part of to do trade with this council. At first, he's like, because like their kingdom's part of the coalition. He's like, a lot of what we're doing is to fort them. Is that a problem? And she's like, we don't want to join you. We just want to trade with you. And he's like, I think you'll be surprised by the resources we're able to pull, mostly knowing that we got dwarves. And then after this, the half orc Kira ends up appearing with the orc that she's always around. Uh, and she tells us that a mongrel man showed up at the giant skull camp. He rode across the plain or traveled across the plains to get here, and he claims he's the loyal servant of Lord Karanja the Flynn. The mongrel man's name is Mongrit, and he calls him Lord Forlandra, the Great Ginwin Theory. So he ends up showing up on this flying, like, what are they called? Stingray? Uh, Flying like stingray creature. The DM makes Smite roll an intelligence check. If I remember right, I rolled low, and then the DM gives me an advantage. Uh, but I could tell that he's partially undead. And he tells us how they came out of a spear where the vampire also came from. Uh, and he says something how, like, there's not a lot of them anymore. And they talk about how this girl came through the spear, and initially she was caught by one of the female Flynns. Lady Shariri, I think her name is. Um, but the psychic girl ends up predicting that there's going to be a humanoid kingdom arising. And whenever he first shows up, he gets surprised that it's Smite and that it's a mixture of humanoids and stuff. Like, he thought it was just going to be an orc horde. They thought it was just the orc king, like, encroaching on their lands. He says that the female Flynns have all gathered together and they decided to invade the mongrel man in the next few days. They say at first they're going to send the trogs, and then after that they're going to send the vampiri warriors, which are warriors of great size. Um, he also says something about how eventually the psychic girl escaped and made his way to him, and she told him that she foresees that the female Flynns are going to turn on him at the last second. So pretty much he decided that instead that pretty much he had two choices: either he do this or get turned on and killed by the female Flynns. They also say they'll be flying on those things. The psychic that told him this, her name is Anna Deludusheva, something like that. I'm probably saying it wrong, like I always say. Um, we end up ending the session there. Nina was part of the conversation because, like, I had Nina approach with me along with Keyleth, I believe, or Kira. Um, but uh, but Nina's player's internet went down again, which in the new campaign it did that in like the second game also. This was the night before that, by the way. I end up still doing a few things with the DM after this. Like, I end up meeting with Goblin City to set traps for whenever the Targs come in. Because right now the plan is to set traps for to set trap for the Trogs. Uh, and then also, like, I have Hellfire when she talks to Jezzy Baba um, to uh, to send a supply of ogres. So have ogres, Wimics, and the Taurus, the big bull people, to counter the heavy infantry. And like the top hobgoblin in Goblin City says that raise all their forces and even hobgoblin legions outside of Goblin City. Um, uh, Whenever Hellfire talks to Jezzy Baba, kind of just like a side thing, is that she tells her that she wants an advisor. Let that in the Empire of Many Arrows. There's a dark elf who's an advisor to each king, someone who's kind of manipulative and knows what's best for the Empire. Um, uh, Before this, Hellfire talked to the Ashai about joining the council and stuff like that. And when she talked to him, like, she kind of got the feeling that the Asai were best out looking for the Asai. So she said that she thought the hags would be more suited for this role. Initially, they were gonna bring in dark elves, but with the abduction of dwarves, they don't think that would work anymore. And that also, like, the representative or the advisor they should send to the dwarves shouldn't look like she tells her, not like a beautiful hag like yourself, more like one like this disgusting form I take. And she says like she'll consider who someone who's probably just a witch kin. But unfortunately, we've been sitting on this big battle for, like I said, like 3 weeks now, and I have a feeling it's going to be like another like 2 weeks before we get to play it. Uh, but Cause like yeah, I don't really see a day opening unless we decide to pick an odd day to play it. Cause right now our Friday's filled with the new campaign. Um, but you want to know, you want to see the battle, check it out when it gets here. You want to know the whole story, check out all my videos, and check you later.